G'day, Leon here from Sparesbox, and behind me is my 2018 Golf R 7.5. Today we're looking at the never-ending journey on braking. You may have seen some of the other videos that we've done, some of the first stage braking upgrades, pads, braking ducts, those types of things. But I've bitten the bullet, I've searched the forums. I think this is probably the next best stage 2 upgrade without going full ham and going for a big brake kit. So essentially we're going for the Porsche Macan 2-litre 4-pipe Brembo. So these are actually the budget Macan, but they're going to be heaps for this. 4-pipe Brembo, aluminium, hopefully lighter than the stock caliper. They apparently bolt on 345mm rotors as well off a Mark 6 Golf, which is the same as the Macan. We're soon going to see if that works or doesn't work. They also run, if you're looking for these, they also do run on some of the Audi Q5s, I believe. Interestingly, I got these from the States at the US for about $240 a caliper, which relatively for this kind of deal is a bargain. So I sort of landed them here under $1,000. It's a bit of a stuffing around, but worth doing. We've got a range of pad options and we'll see how it goes.
So we're going for the DBA T3 2-piece rotors, which should reduce a bit of the unsprung mass and help with the heat dissipation. We have run these before, and I have been running the 1-piece as well. So the 1-piece for the 340mm, they come in at 10.8 kilos. The 345mm come in at 9.6, so saving about 0.8 of a kilo unsprung mass across the front of the car, which is significant, and there's just less weight for the suspension to carry around. James obviously just giving them a wipe down before they go on the car, getting the residue off. They look good. I mean, let's be honest, half the things with brakes is looks. So they just line up and go on. Copper grease, everything. We know from previous experience this braking package gets very, very hot, so we want to reduce any chance of seizing. Great thing, these things just bolt straight up, don't need to use additional hardware, spacers or anything like that. Very clean installation. So you will need the brake lines from a Macan. They also fit great, go straight into the existing holes, no problems at all. So we took off the old calipers. They're cast iron. They weigh in at a pretty hefty 8.36 kilos each. The new calipers 4.1, like literally half, with pads and everything coming in at about 5.16. So it's a very healthy 6 kilo weight reduction of unsprung mass across the front of the car, which instantly makes a big difference to the handling.
So the reason I've gone for these calipers isn't, plenty of people would think, oh, I go from a 1-pot to a 4-pot. That's probably not going to make a huge amount of difference. They are a 4-pot, which is handy, which means you get a more equal force distribution on the pads. These ones are weather sealed because they're off the Macan. They're an OEM caliper, they're not a race caliper. That's something to consider when you do big break-up kits. Often they are race calipers and the dust seals and stuff aren't quite up to the same standard as a OEM caliper. But the most important thing here is that they're a top loading caliper, and we can change the pads in and out for really easily for track days and back to road use. So that's just going to give maximum flexibility and match the pad compound as close as we can to the application we're running on that day to give us the best chance of getting this thing stopped.
So here we're just plugging in the rear, or the computer for the rear brake pads, just to disengage the handbrake. So you will need some kind of like scan tool, which is, you know, inevitability in a modern car, but slightly annoying for old school mechanics. You can see here the rear discs are cooked. So here we have the heat markings on the rotor, and these are great investigation tool to see how hot we're actually going. Got green, amber and red, and I think they go from somewhere like 450 to like 670, something in that range, and it basically gives an indication of how hot the pad got. If it turns white, you know you've hit that temperature rating. High temp brake fluid, of course. Pump the pedal. Pump on, pump off. Pump on, pump off.
All right, so I'm definitely putting that down as a win. The internet has come through, the forums, information I've pieced together has proved correct. It's all gone on, everything's bolted up using the original bolts, all the spacing's good, all the tolerances are good. Hopefully it's going to be great on the track. We're taking it out next week to Bathurst. That's going to put it to the test. Stay tuned and see what happens.